Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's Naked Truth. Trisha Hershberger here. Super happy to have you. Today, we are going to talk about Star Wars, and I'm finally going to reveal my opinions on everything Star Wars that's happened recently. I have been keeping them to myself because I want to let people feel free to make their own opinions, and I also want to make sure that everyone has a chance to see something with, like I said, with an open mind so that you can make your own opinions before we all start talking about it. And also, I don't want to spoil anything for anyone. So the things I'm going to talk about today when we talk about Star Wars, and if you guys bring something up, we'll, try to do it in a non-spoilery way. But the things that I want to talk about today are basically Episode 9 and The Mandalorian. But before I jump into that, I do want to say thank you to The Expanse on Amazon Prime for helping to partner with me to make this video. So you've probably seen me talking all about this show on social media, but I need to say it here again. The Expanse is probably one of the best sci-fi series of our generation. So when Amazon asked me to partner with them, hashtag Amazon partner, to talk about it on the show, I said, yes, definitely put this screaming firehawk in the ship and blast off. In case the show isn't already on your radar, the first 3 seasons were on Sci-Fi. And then the internet pretty much revolted when the show was canceled, and Amazon, luckily, picked it up and made a killer season 4. It's already greenlit season 5 because it's been doing so well on Amazon. And they even put a hilarious recap done by Kevin Smith of the first 3 seasons on Amazon. In case you're like, Trisha, I don't have time to binge 3 seasons of a show. You can watch Kevin Smith hilariously recap the first 3 seasons so that you can jump right into season 4. That being said, if of course you do want to binge it all, it's all now available on Amazon Prime, and you totally can. I put a link in the description of this video, so if any sci-fi fans stumble upon this video, since we're talking about Star Wars, and are like, oh hey, yes, I need a new sci-fi series, The Expanse is where it's at, and I absolutely love it, and Amos is my favorite, and that's what I will say about that. So, thank you again to The Expanse and to Amazon Prime for partnering with me on today's video. And yes, if you are someone who is frustrated with Star Wars right now, this might be a good alternative. So anyway, like I was saying before, I wanted to wait until Rise of Skywalker was out a little bit before I released my opinions to the internet. I think I had one Instagram post where I kind of did one of these. And I was like, you can probably guess how I felt about it from that, because I did feel pretty meh. Hey guys, hey everybody. So I'm really interested to hear what everybody else has to say about it. And I feel like it's been so polarizing. Some of my friends absolutely loved it and thought it was the perfect way to tie up the last 3 movies. Great ending to the trilogy. And some people thought it was the worst thing that ever happened to Star Wars ever. And then there were people in the middle, although I would say probably most people fall hard to the extremes, one way or the other. I was a kind of in the middle, and here's why. I did have a lot of problems with the video, or with the film. There were a lot of things that, I will say, spoiler alert, if you have not seen Rise of Skywalker yet, if you have not seen Episode 9 yet, I am going to talk about things they did in that movie. Like I said, I tried to give it enough time from when it released until now that I could talk about it. Who said new chair? Are we dead yet? Says new chair. No, same Alienware chair that I've been using for a while. And I see a lot of love for The Expanse in chat right now, which I'm super happy about. We can talk about it all day on social media because I absolutely love that series. Okay, let's see. Chris says, can I just say that talking to specific friends about Star Wars has pretty much made me never want to talk about it with them again. I don't like being ganged up on and then forgotten. Yes, people are so polarized about it right now. It's crazy. Beardtastic Yogi says, I enjoyed it, but I went in with my expectations set pretty low. Okay, so here's what I'm going to say about it. I feel like I've given people enough time to, get out of town if you don't want to be here for a spoilery discussion. So here are just some of my problems that I had with it, and then I'm going to end with the things I liked about it. So if you're watching this video, don't be like, screw this chick, she hated it, and move on. I'll get to the other stuff. Overall, I thought it was meh. The stuff that I didn't like about it, I didn't like that they brought back Palpatine in the opening scroll. If you're going to bring back Palpatine, because I get it, Last Jedi killed off our big main baddie, so we needed a new baddie. Not so crazy about the choice to just bring back Palpatine. But if you're going to do that, show me how that happens. I want to see that happen. That's probably a fascinating story. Don't just mention it also P.S. And it wasn't even just also P.S. In the Fortnite Star Wars crossover, I guess the Palpatine broadcast was heard in that. I don't play Fortnite, as I don't think many Star Wars fans, I'm sure there's a good portion of Star Wars fans that do play Fortnite, but not everybody does. So you kind of missed out on that portion of the story. So that was a problem. I didn't like that they wrote out Rose. I didn't think Rose's character was all that interesting in Last Jedi, but I thought it was a cool opportunity for inclusivity in the Star Wars universe, and they had already kind of marketed her toys, and there were little girls that were like, yeah, Rose is awesome. Instead of just writing her out and kind of giving in to what some might say was cancel culture about her character, I wish they would have given her more to do. I wish they would have written her a better story and done something with her character. I feel like that was a missed opportunity. Rey and Kylo did not need to happen. I kind of wish that it hadn't. The dagger Goonies moment was absolutely silly. Oh, but look at this. Surprise, surprise. It felt very out of nowhere. And that rubble totally would have eroded over years. But whatever. Silly thing, but I can overlook it. But a kind of issue nonetheless. Overall, I felt like I could see Rise of Skywalker trying to fix all of the issues of Last Jedi. And I'm in agreement that Last Jedi had a lot of issues. I could see them trying to fix all the issues of Last Jedi, and it was way too much to do in one film. It was like they needed to erase one film and completely redo that film and then end the trilogy all in one movie. And I feel like I could just see all the plates spinning behind the scenes, and it was way too much, and it made me not really invested in the story and not really invested in the characters at this point. So when the big heartfelt stuff did happen at the end, I was kind of like heartless about it. That's just how it played for me. Things that I did like about the film, I liked that they tried to wrap it all up with a beautiful heartfelt moment. I loved Babu Frick. I think everyone's on board with that. I did like that it undid some of the choices I wasn't super fond of in The Last Jedi. But I do also think that it was an impossible task to undo Last Jedi stuff and kind of redo it and then also tie up the trilogy all in one movie. I do not envy that task. It was way too much. And I also love that there are so many younger kids and a younger generation that now has this Star Wars as theirs. I love that. And I think if nothing else signals that maybe it wasn't for the 30-something Star Wars fan, that many of my friends were 30-something Star Wars fans that didn't like it. The fact that they did the Fortnite crossover where they made that part of the story and you had to do that to get the secondary experience signals to me that it's probably not for the 30-something Star Wars fan. All right, so here we go. Going in to read what you guys say. Backstorm VR says, apparently there's offline material that fills out the gaps. Okay. Steven Summer says, I love the film, but totally agree there was not enough Rose. She could have gone on the mission with everybody else. God of Knocker says, the only thing I didn't like is that people were trying to spoil the movie before I had a chance to see it. I hate when people do that. Chris says, Raylo is, I can change him. I also felt that Raylo was like, yeah, I know you've been saying no for like 2 movies, but third movie, yeah. Which I feel like is mixed messaging all the way around. Let's see. Beertastic Yogi says, I just don't get why they didn't write the entire trilogy at one time, or at least plot it out. Couldn't agree with that more. Michael King says, I loved it. I loved Last Jedi when I first saw it, but Last Jedi is not rewatchable. I wonder why I used to say it's not rewatchable. Tell me why. Ninja says, I'm a Star Wars fan. Cheese smile. I think we can all agree with that. And I think that people have heated opinions because it is a property that they care so much about. And I can totally get down with that. I didn't enjoy the pacing, says Chris. Okay. Let's see. Steven Summer says, I give the film a pass because they had to work around Carrie Fisher's death. I did love all the Leia stuff post her death in the film. They did an amazing job with that. That CGI was incredible. And I mean, film has come so far when it comes to that kind of stuff. Star Wars movies are terrible at explaining things, says Optimus Provost, which is a valid point. So when I say I thought this movie was meh, basically I didn't think it was for me. Me and my friends, the 30-something Star Wars fan, I did not think it was for us. But on the other hand, what is for us? The Mandalorian. And I would also argue Rogue One. I think we have The Mandalorian, we have Rogue One. If there's going to be stuff for a different generation, that's okay. I'm totally okay with saying this is still Star Wars. It's not necessarily made for me. I can still go and enjoy it as a fun ride, but maybe not take it as seriously as I take some stuff that is made for me. Cool. Mandalorian, if you have not had a chance to finish it, is so good. Like, so, so good. And they have different directors for different episodes, and some episodes hit home more than other episodes. Backstorm VR, thank you for the $5 super chat, says, I was overall fine with the movie, but it could use more downtime. Way super fast paced. 1 minute they're here, next minute they're here. Yeah, they had a lot to do in that movie. Thank you so much for the super chat and for supporting this channel. But yeah, Mandalorian, the last episode of the series, which was directed by Taika Waititi, which bodes well for the future because he was asked to direct a future Star Wars film. Please say yes. I don't know if he actually has said yes yet. If anyone has seen news headlines that I have not, please let me know. But as far as Mandalorian, that last episode, directed by Taika Waititi, the opening scene, I will not spoil it for anyone if you haven't seen it, but the opening scene is some of the best Star Wars I have ever seen on screen ever. In that scene, and I am dead serious about that. So go watch that. If you are salty about episode 9, if you are salty about anything else, go watch that because I thought it was brilliant. Also, Baby Yoda, aka Nigel. Everybody loves Baby Yoda. Completely stole the show. I would say overall the acting's really good. There were some misses for me, but it's well performed, and it's just a really interesting series. And it was cool for me because I was like, wow, do I want Star Wars TV more than I want Star Wars movies? Which we live in an age in entertainment where television is surpassing movies for a lot of people as far as entertainment. We've got these great TV series on the scale of Game of Thrones, how much money they're putting into this new Lord of the Rings on Amazon Prime series, etc., The Expanse, all these great TV series that it's kind of like blurring the lines between television and movies. And there are different ways to tell a story because movies are obviously longer form. But some TV shows are getting longer form and they're getting bingeable, which then TV, if you're thinking of a 10-episode bingeable series, is even longer form than a movie. It's just very fascinating what's going on from an entertainment perspective now. But yeah, I am heavily into Mandalorian and highly recommend. So anyway, my questions for you guys. If you loved episode 9, what did you love about it? And I'm not here to argue with people. I genuinely want us to like shower some Star Wars love in the chat because really the whole reason that I even wanted to vlog about Star Wars today is because I love it so much. Backstorm says, Mandalorian, you mean Adventure of Baby Yoda? LOL. Yeah, kind of. Mark White says, Rey and Kylo are technically cousins of some sort, right? Since Palpatine is kind of Anakin's dad, midichlorians and all that. I mean, fair point for you to bring up. Let's see. Kevin Shea says, is the Skywalker saga played out in a different set of characters? What will make the franchise last? That's a great question. I would love to see more backstory from the Sith side of things. That's fascinating. I want to hear more about Snoke. I want to hear more about all of it. Let's see. Stephen Summers says, I loved how Rey got some moral support from the Jedi of old, but it was ultimately her who beat Palpatine. Yes, I agree. That was great. Are We Dead Yet says, I like The Mandalorian more than most of the movies. Took it home to Jenny. Hi, Jenny. Says, I haven't seen The Mandalorian yet as Disney Plus isn't out in the UK yet. No, Jenny, come visit me. Come visit me in the States and we will have a Mandalorian watch party. That's such a tragedy. But when it gets there, you will love it. Anime Hero says, I loved the ending of episode 9. I love Rey's final battle and heard the older Jedis motivate her at the end. It was really cool to hear Anakin, Luke, Yoda, Leia, and more. I agree with that. That was very cool. Nick T says, Rise of Skywalker was so rushed because it had so much to cover and fix. Couldn't agree more. I also just didn't like the whole, we need to fix this thing to find the other thing to find Palpatine. LOL. Yes, agreed. Fu Hong says, I want to see more of the Old Republic. I'm totally on board with that. Mike A, thank you for the $1.49 super chat and the hearts. You're amazing. Stephen Summers says, also Palpatine being every Sith was super cult-like, and I was into it. It felt like the extended universe stuff. Yeah, I would love to see more extended universe stuff brought to screen. That would be great. Todd Bergman says, Episode 9 is crafted from the very ground up to be separated from the previous 8 episodes. I noticed that when the first scene change did not include a swipe transition. Interesting. I hadn't noticed that, but I've only seen it once in theaters because I was like, I'm not going to got a babysitter and go to see that again. But I will probably watch it again when it comes out on DVD or digital format. Anime Hero says, I also hope we get a gray Jedi story in the future. It would be a cool Star Wars story with a Jedi that operates in the middle. I would love to see that. I'm so on board with that. Okay, my next question for you guys, and you just kind of answered this, so this is a great segue. Where would you like to see the movie franchise go next? Or should we just go all TV at this point? What stories do you want to see told? And yeah, do you think it's movies or TVs that are our future, or are we still doing both? I keep trying to bring my hair out so I can be like, look, I have color in my hair. Look, I do. I just got it recolored, so I'm a little proud right now. Mark White says, I love that Chewie got a medal. Finally. Agreed. Finally. Backstorm says, I believe the Knights of the Old Republic games are now canon. Interesting. Aditya Neal, hello, says, have never actually watched any of the Star Wars movies. All I know is that Obi-Wan had the high ground. Well, I'm very jealous of you because someday you'll get to experience them all for the very first time, and I wish that I could relive that. And I'm going to try to relive that through my son when he is old enough for me to introduce Star Wars to him. And my cousin put together what he believes is the perfect way to introduce your children to Star Wars, order of everything, including Clone Wars and like all of the other stuff. So I haven't looked at his list yet, but I'm definitely intrigued to see it. Prene says Rey and Kylo are always the best parts of the movies. Even if I didn't like, even if I didn't like Tross. Tristan says the strangest bit about the end was that Palpatine said if Rey strikes him down, she'll fall to the dark side and become a Sith. But then she kills him and nothing happens. Yeah. Sometimes you just got to figure it out on your own. But wasn't there a way around that? If I remember correctly, there was a way around that. I still want a Knights of Ren origin movie, says Alvaro Pizarro. I totally agree. The Old Republic era, says Jeremy Coleman. Christian Polson says they should either do Old Republic or just jump to the future, like from Old Republic to the current saga, and start a new story altogether. I would be okay with all of that. Also, I should mention Jedi Fallen Order was great, in case anyone hasn't played that yet. I didn't fully finish it yet, which is why I haven't done like a total recap of it. Jason Miklovich, thank you so much for the super chat. You're amazing. And said, thoughts on Rey absorbing the Skywalker name? Good question. I liked that she was given the opportunity to choose light or dark because she's somewhere in the middle. I felt like that's what they were trying to say with that ending. It was kind of weird. The choice to have it be done via choosing your name was a little odd, but I did like that overall, like, I'm in the middle and now it's my choice. Almost very Harry Potter, like Sorting Hat-ish, where it takes your choice into consideration. I like that messaging, especially for a younger generation, that, like, you may feel things that are both light and dark, but ultimately it's your choice. But yeah, the naming convention part of it was a little bit weird for me. Cyclops TB says, more Clone Wars episode. And thank you for the super chat. Backstorm, thank you as well for the super chat. And says, have you played Vader Immortal? It's an interesting side story. Vader Immortal, if anyone hasn't played it, is the VR Star Wars story. I've played the first part of Vader Immortal, but we were trying to get it cast to a screen so that Nate and I could experience it together. And I realized I have too old of a generation Chromecast to cast to the screen. So we were like, oh, we'll put this on hold until we find a way to do it. So that's on hold. I haven't actually finished it yet. Christian Polson says, I really wanted her to say Palpatine at the end. And they could have gone another way where she said Palpatine at the end, but was like, but now I'm reclaiming it for good or something like that. There were a lot of ways they could have gone. GK Gamer Fan says, yeah, taking the Skywalker name, like, I really like my high school teacher, so let's just take his last name. Yes, again, the naming convention part of it was a little odd. Fu says, are you going to stream Fallen Order? I currently only have Fallen Order for Xbox. I don't have it for PC. And I don't have my Xbox up in my streaming room. That is my holdup with streaming Fallen Order at this very time. I'm probably going to try to finish Disco Elysium first, but then maybe I will, especially now that like every game of 2020 has been delayed until September, essentially. So all the stuff I thought we were getting early 2020 is now not happening. Chris C says Rey Palpatine sounds cooler, also deeper in that meaning if that was chosen. Yeah, I like all these different ways that it could have gone and alternate endings that you guys are coming up with. Nice One says my 18-year-old daughter has developed a nope, not reading that. Nope, not a good comment. Let's see what else. Chris says, I really do wish that the Jedi and Sith had ended like they were teasing in The Last Jedi. Interesting. Okay, I really think that's an interesting concept because Luke was absolutely right that they were arrogant and needed to end. Yeah, I could go on like a sidebar with that. I don't know that I would love that to be like super canon. But pitch me your idea. Let's chat about it in Discord. I feel like now we need to make a Star Wars channel in the Discord, which, by the way, if you're not a member of the Discord, join our Discord. It is linked in the description below, and we hang out there and talk all the time, and that's also where the easiest way to find out when I'm doing content on other YouTube channels or streaming on other channels and stuff is. But yay for the Discord. It's super fun. Nemo says, I really wish they would have done the Rey went Sith and Kylo went Jedi route. Oh, that would have been cool. But I mean, I like having really complex, mixed villains and heroes where no one is particularly all one side or the other. So, like I said, I liked the mixed Rey Skywalker at the end. And then my last question for you guys is, what other sci-fi shows are you loving right now? If there's a sci-fi show that you watch, so we can have anyone who might be kind of like womp womp from episode 9, because there are those people out there. What else are you watching that you're enjoying so we can all get our sci-fi fix? Give it. Jenny, thank you so much for posting the Discord link. Steven says, the new ride at Galaxy's Edge is allegedly the best ride Disney has ever made. I have not had a chance to go yet, and I'm dying to go on it. I'm dying. It would be great. Epic Voice Guy, how are you? Says, I just posted a ton of Star Wars red carpet pics. Ooh, how fun. I've been watching Witcher again, says Took It Home to Jenny. Witcher is great. GDK Mouse says Star Trek Discovery. Foos is not a sci-fi show, but I just finished Medical Police. All right. Michael King says, funnily enough, I'm not into sci-fi besides Star Wars or Power Rangers. I feel like Star Wars is more than straight sci-fi, so that totally makes sense for me, if that's why you're into that, as opposed to maybe some other more straight sci-fi. Steven Summers says, not much sci-fi, but a lot of fantasy with The Witcher. I love The Witcher. I was a huge fan. Someone told me, like, isn't The Witcher getting super panned by critics? And I was like, I don't know. Everyone I know loves it. Everyone I'm talking to on the internet and everyone I talk to in real life is obsessed with it. Doctor Who and The Expanse, says Dark Lord Bob. Cannot recommend The Expanse enough. Again, not just because Amazon was like, hey, want to partner for The Expanse? And I was like, yes. But no, can't recommend it enough. Really, really good. Hype for the new Star Trek to come out. Picard, says GK Gamer Fan. Yes. Epic Voice Guy says Lost in Space Season 2. Yes. All of it. Tristan says, an old sci-fi I love is Babylon 5. Kind of Star Trek-y. I love that we're showing love to all of these different things. Jinsen says, my go-to sci-fi shows are Doctor Who, Star Trek, Deep Space Nine, and Legends of Tomorrow, but I've really been getting into this anime called Legend of the Galactic Heroes. Cool. Still gotta give love to Power Rangers. I agree with you, Cyclops. Jig says, replay the Dishonored franchise. Wish it had a TV series. Maybe. So we haven't really seen video games done well as movies, but maybe the trend of doing video games as television will start to pick up. Maybe. What about Quantum Leap, says Danny Hooley. Don't get me started on Quantum Leap. I love Quantum Leap, like, so hard. I used to watch it all the time when I was younger. Like, all the time. Absolutely loved it. Will watch reruns any day. Quantum Leap for days. And Quantum Leap is funny because I feel like if you're under a certain age, you're like, what the heck is Quantum Leap? Because I feel like it was old and rerunning when I was little and watching it. So that's like a really old show. But so good. Epic Voice Guy says, Quantum Leap is streaming on Tubi. Thank you. I don't even know Tubi. But now that I'm a cord cutter, I should get into all this other stuff. I mostly watch Amazon Prime, Netflix, and Disney Plus, to be honest. Let's see. Took It Home to Jenny says, I really need a reason to wear a cosplay if I'm going to spend money I'm saving for a house. Yes, you are. Get it. Then you can be a cord cutter in that house and totally watch all your favorite TV on streaming services like I do. Mooney says Sliders, LOL. Yep, Rob says, what's Quantum Leap? Smiley face. I see what you did there. Steven Summer says I tried watching Quantum Leap, but it was too old effects for me. Yeah, it was probably really old effects. I remember it from being like 6. Idiot Neil says not sci-fi, but definitely fiction. I'm talking about House MD. That kind of doctor is an HR department nightmare in real life. Oh yeah, but that's why it makes good TV. That's why it makes good TV. Oh, Stargate. Yes, Foo, Stargate is a great one. Absolutely. Brandon Lau, Baby Yoda versus Kylo Ren. Who would win? Baby Yoda. Hands down. Not even a question for me, but I would love to hear what you guys have to say. So anyway, thank you guys all for chatting Star Wars with me. I have loved this conversation, and I feel like I've been holding it in for so long because I don't want to spoil anything for anyone, and I want everyone to go see the movie, and feel free to like it how you like it or dislike it how you like it, because everyone's entitled to their opinion, and we can all still be Star Wars fans. Like I said, for me, The Mandalorian and Rogue One, I feel like are more for my type of Star Wars fan, as opposed to the newer trilogy. But I'm not going to poop in someone else's pudding if they really liked the new Star Wars trilogy. So that's my TLDR. If anyone wants to make Naked Truth video responses on this, whether you do it Naked Truth style or not, totally fine. If you are in the Discord, that's where it's the easiest to share videos now, so we can all see them. People are mostly just talking in the Discord now. There's a few people, shout out to Jenny and Thomas, a few people that are still making the Naked Truth style vlog videos, but that's always where they're posted. Again, want to shout out the Discord. We have all manner of different channels of things to talk about there, including the Naked Truth channel, where we specifically talk about whatever was here. And then tomorrow morning, I will be live streaming like I do every Sunday morning to my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Trisha Hershberger. And I am much more active on my Twitch channel and on my Instagram than I am here on YouTube. So if you are tuning into this and you followed me for years on my YouTube channel and you're like, why does Trisha not upload to YouTube anymore? There's a lot of reasons that I've talked about on this show many times before. But if you're wondering where I've been, I'm just doing stuff on other platforms. So if you're on Twitch, come on over there, give a follow, say hello. I try to Twitch stream at least 3 times a week when I'm not already booked with other work. And sometimes more if I have some free time. So anyway, thank you all so much for being here today. I love you very much. Thank you to everyone who gave a super chat and helped support the channel and the content that I make across all different platforms. And know that this is the best community in the entire world and on the web, and I genuinely feel that way. So I am eternally grateful for you. Happy 2020 to everyone, since this is the first Naked Truth of 2020, which is sad considering it's January 18th, but you know, that's how it is. I was out of town a lot, and then there was CES. But yeah, I aim to do these every 2 weeks on a Saturday around noon Pacific time, sometimes a little earlier, sometimes a little later. So if you like the Naked Truth stuff, come back for that. Otherwise, or even if you like the Naked Truth stuff, still hang out in Discord and follow me on all the other stuff. And yeah, I'll see you in 2 weeks or tomorrow morning on Twitch. Okay. Bye, everybody. See you later and stuff.